Hey everybody, thanks for joining me again today. I have a wonderful interview and preview of the DFW Growth Summit. I am joined here today with Brennan McKinlay. He has spent 20 years with Toyota on their operations side and has now branched out and launched his own consulting firm under KSG Partners Limited. Brennan, how are you doing today, brother?
Doing awesome. Good to be with you, James.
Awesome. Thank you for joining us today, man. And let's get right to it. If you're ready to go, I'm ready to go. And
Absolutely.
let's see what we've got here. All right. So first question, what's the most surprising way you've seen AI improve operational efficiency in your business or your client's business?
I've got to be honest. In today's world, there's very few things that truly surprise me anymore with AI. If an AI-powered toothbrush can tell me that I missed a spot on my upper left molar, or you've got AI-powered robots that are starting to replace bees and pollinate flowers, I think I'm not going to be surprised by anything. But one of the more powerful ways that I've seen AI improve operational efficiency is very basic, but it's through predictive maintenance. So at Toyota, we leverage machine learning algorithms to evaluate sensor data from equipment, which allowed us to anticipate malfunctions or downtime before it occurred, which meant that we could significantly increase our uptime, reduce maintenance costs, and optimize production processes. It was really powerful. Also, AI-driven quality control systems are now being used. And in some places that we used to think were previously thought that a trained human was required. And this lets product and quality control team members focus on other tasks that are truly unique value adds for them rather than being stuck in processes that are really tedious. So those are really powerful things from a manufacturing and operations standpoint that I've seen that are really providing a lot of big dividends.
Quality control is definitely a great function to have AI. I think I think we're going to see a lot more of that going into 2025, 26, so on,
Absolutely.
for sure. I like that. How do you ensure your applications of AI align with sustainability goals? What do you like to see?
Yeah, it's a good point. I think that, AI tools have a wide variety of applications in like environmental management for sure. Like for instance, Toyota has been committed to achieving carbon neutrality in operations and across the supply chain as part of its 2050 goals. In my last role at Toyota, I was responsible for leading the digital transformation of our finished vehicle logistics organization. And a major part of the metrics that we had to manage in logistics was our truck emissions in transportation of these vehicles. Manually, it's a really big job to figure out, what's my CO2 emissions. But with the help of the tools my team was implementing, we were creating the capability to optimize routes based on any factor we needed, whether it's emissions, cost, lead time, et cetera. And that way the people involved could make good decisions that satisfied both environmental and financially sustainable goals. And we were laying the groundwork for the not so distant future where the systems themselves could make those decisions based on parameters that were input by the people in charge of them. So for example, if a vehicle that we were pulling off a ship at the port of Long Beach needed to get to Phoenix, but the I-10 was log jammed, you know, the system in the future would be able to calculate that and say what's the most environmentally friendly and cost-effective route to get around the LA traffic to still keep an on-time delivery in Phoenix. So it's really exciting stuff, and it really helps to reduce the workload and for the team members as well as improve the outcomes for the customers at the end of the day.
That's awesome for sure. I cannot wait to expand on some of this stuff during the panel. Let's talk about some misconceptions. So, what's a common misconception about using AI for operational excellence that you'd like to debunk?
Yeah, I still think that it's a common misconception that AI can replace human expertise entirely. And while AI can automate repetitive tasks and provide valuable insights, it's really most effective when used to augment human decision making rather than replace it. So in my past roles, we found that combining AI with the people expertise led to the best outcomes, as the AI could handle those data intensive tasks while people focused on strategic and creative problem solving and could quickly detect if those AI tools were producing poor outcomes. The people are still needed to make sure that the data being consumed by those AI tools is good. Otherwise, it's garbage in, garbage out, right? But I'm sure the tides are turning on that as well. But right today, I think it's, that's something that we need to be careful of.
I agree, and I've spoken with a few people that echo that same sentiment. It's not, we're not going to replace people much. It's really meant to augment, like you said, and kind of help with inspiration. I'm a marketer, so I know a lot of marketers use generative AI for inspirational purposes and speeding things up. So no, yeah, I definitely relate to that. Okay, and let's kind of keeping along those lines a little bit. What are the risks of relying too heavily on AI in operational decision making?
Yeah, I think relying too heavily on AI and operations can lead to several problems. One major risk is sort of the black box effect, right? Whether it's naively or through some experience, it can be really tempting to just say, "Oh, our system said this, so we did it," or "Hey, this is the result that we got. I'm not sure how we got here." And that gets dangerous because there's still opportunities for that AI system to be processing, like I said before, garbage in, garbage out, processing data that may be wrong to begin with. Or when we talk about using Gen AI, there's still it's getting better, but there's still this risk of hallucinations. Like the Gen AI is creating something that really doesn't exist, right? Additionally, if the people involved don't take the time to learn at least the logic behind those systems, we quickly lose the capability to better build algorithms that are better and also improve the systems for the future. Because it still requires people to program all of these AI tools and to actually make sure that they work, make sure that the inputs are good and translate those outputs to good decision making. So I think that's one of the risks that I think is really careful that we have to be very careful of.
Yeah, for sure. I know that, or I've heard at least rumor of, some financial analysts or, those that are in finance and kind of in the public company space where they might use AI to analyze quarterly reports and annual reports and stuff like that. And that can get a little
Yeah,
dicey, or maybe even reviewing legal documents. You got to make sure if you're using it for that to your AI is tuned to pull out certain highlights and stuff like that. But
yeah,
yeah, I definitely
yeah. Sorry, yeah, I love the application of using AI to help us with data analytics in
yeah
something like finance, like you're saying. Gathering lots of data is really helpful, right? To be able to
yes
crunch through numbers and see what are the trends all going on all around.
yep
But then the final decision making that has to take into consideration what's going on in the political space, the social space, other economic factors. It's getting better, but the AI tools just don't have the same level of understanding of context yet to be able to make decisions. So if my
yeah
financial advisor was saying it's all AI generated decisions, I think I'd probably find somebody else.
yeah I know, right? That'd be something else, for sure. Okay, maybe last question, we'll see. Which AI technologies are overhyped and which ones are game changers for building a sustainable business?
Yeah, I think I may repeat myself just a little bit, but I do think in general that many applications of Gen AI, generative AI, are a little bit overhyped at the moment, especially when they're portrayed as like these near magical solutions to complex problems.
Yeah, I
Complex
agree.
problems is really challenging to solve, right?
Yeah.
They're progressing and growing quickly, but in operations management, especially, I think there needs to be a healthy skepticism for the time being, meaning that we take some of the inputs that we get out of those AI tools and we apply our practical knowledge because really the people in operations are the experts. The team members on the shop floor or the team members in any kind of lab operation, the folks who are doing the work on a day-to-day basis, they see the problems firsthand and they know what's going on. Now, data can really help them to see things better, but that's something that I think is really powerful. It's like that's something that may be a little bit overhyped. I think other industries may be different, but I think
Yeah.
operations that has that specific
Yeah,
need.
for sure.
Um, yeah, I think technologies like machine learning, especially when combined with big data, are a little bit underappreciated in my mind. They are truly AI tools, but they are less flashy than the newer Gen AI type tools that are really coming online now. But it's just because they're more mature that they actually are a little bit more proven and better, right? So for things like I mentioned before, predictive maintenance, AI quality control, et cetera, they really are game changers. Um, there are lots of other applications here that I've seen as well, from market analysis and determining what products are needed in what regions, in what volumes. So that's great for logistics teams and warehousing teams to stock things where they need to be. all the way to predicting what features will be most profitable in a new product development, so that we're actually making the right stuff that customers will want to buy. I mean, leveraging those technologies can be really powerful in those and a whole lot of other areas and operations. So those are just a few thoughts.
Yes, for sure. Um, I definitely, I don't want to, I could talk to you all day about this stuff, and I don't want to go too far into it because we've got a lot to uncover and unpack at the summit. And uh, guys, Brennan will be moderating the panel. I believe it's our first panel of the day that will be on improving operational excellence using AI. So definitely look forward to that. And Brennan, do you have any other insights that you'd like to share briefly before we kind of close off, or anything that you're looking forward to most, anything like that?
Yeah, thanks. I'm also really looking forward to the summit coming up here in a few weeks, and I think it'll be a great opportunity to get some really smart and capable business leaders together to exchange ideas. So I'm really looking forward to that. I feel like I'm going to learn a lot as well. I will say this, my experience has been as an operations guy. I mean, I've worked in, leading digital transformation efforts, et cetera. I'm not a software expert, but because I'm an operations person, I've been able to take that perspective and see the benefits that come from all of these new tools being applied. And so even if I can't necessarily design the specific algorithms myself, I know where the applications are, and I'm just super excited for what the future holds with all of these technologies coming along, because people are so important in operations. And if we have these kind of tools coming online that can really help to augment and help our team members to be more effective and more efficient, man, the sky's the limit in operations in my mind. So this is a really exciting time to be in business.
I agree for sure. It really is. I think this year is going to be incredible too, especially at the speed that we're going. So that'll about wrap it up. Brennan, I appreciate you again for joining me today. Guys, if you like this, you definitely are going to love the summit and everything that we're going to cover. Make sure to get your early bird tickets. Those are available on my website, jamessackey.marketing. We've got, I think, just over 5 weeks or so, maybe 6 weeks to go. And we're obviously really excited to see you guys. And yeah, we will see you there.
Thanks, James. Good to be with you.
Absolutely.